here we are in episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
That's not the name, but I like it. We'll go with it.
Of the podcast where we are recording right now.
And the name of that podcast is, Justin? Is Justin. That's the name.
It's Crystal Barclay, everyone.
Everybody, hey, how you doing, Crystal?
Hey.
Hey, you're hey. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
I've been hey
Wait.
before.
I've been hey most of my life.
Before you ask Crystal anything else, I gotta say it's time for How You Been? The part of the show where we ask the guest
how you been,
they have been.
Cool,
so, Crystal.
I thought we were about to do that in unison, but...
Then,
how you been?
Ooh. I woke up this morning. That was nice.
That's...
Wow.
That's how you've been?
That's how every day's been so far in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah. I've woken up.
I
not always in the morning, but I have always woken up.
Is that like the most interesting aspect of your life?
I'd say that's definitely the thing that's happened the most often.
we're trying to do a show here, and
if I thought about every time I've been awoke...
How are we supposed to play off of that?
before that.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know, how have you been?
I've been alright.
Yeah.
It's weird. I planned for the show, like, us being the host, and then we could bring a guest on. I had written all the questions out, but I didn't anticipate her asking questions back, and I don't know.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to respond to that as hosts?
I feel the opposite. I anticipated that you would ask me questions, but not how are you doing?
Oh.
That's an unusual question to ask a person.
Yeah.
What a...
So you got anything you need to plug, Crystal? What have you been doing in your, have you been making anything?
Are you on Pinterest?
Wow, you did!
Are you on YouTube?
I go on those things.
Wow.
Are you on Reddit?
Yes.
Are you
You can follow me on Tumblr.
What's your Tumblr handle?
Is Tumblr
I can't tell you. It's
I know
shameful.
It's shameful.
Oh,
now I'm more interested, so is the audience.
I don't want to admit it.
I hope every audience member
go past.
listens.
It's a knee whore. But
Knee whore?
spelled like a knee. Oh, wait, no, I changed it. It's menstrual cycle.
It's at menstrual cycle on Tumblr.
It's the emphasis on the men, like a men's cycle. It was really funny at the time, you guys.
It's just menstrual cycle. Wait, but I want to go back. You said it was knee whore, but knee whore was too what? Was too something that you had to.
It was too shameful.
That was too shameful. You know what? I'm more content talking to my mother about menstrual cycle. I hope she finds this instead of knee whore.
I'd always been a big fan
devastated.
of. There was a Kanye Westicles. Best person I've ever followed.
No, I think you're dodging the question. Is what does knee whore mean?
It was just a play on words because it's spelled knee like it's Eeyore. Did you not get that?
No.
Eeyore. Eeyore, knee whore.
I was not.
It sounds like Eeyore, but it's spelled knee whore.
I don't.
I'd never say. Oh, are you saying Eeyore with an N in front of it? I heard.
My whole life.
You're saying Eeyore weird.
It's almost like those words are similar. And even if they were, it's such an obscure reference that no one could possibly know what she was trying to get at.
I've told multiple people
Really clever, Crystal.
Were they looking at it and spelling?
I'm just now realizing that they had no idea what I was doing. Like, I have an email address. And I just always thought, like, it's obvious, Eeyore, come on. But no, people just think I'm a knee whore.
Now all of your friends all this time, they thought of you as a knee whore, and you have to ask yourself, like, did they like me because of who I am, or did they think
No.
like, were they trying to get something from your knees or from their knees?
both our knees, I guess.
I mean, most people, when they talk about Crystal, they say, I just love what she does to my knees. There were so many flaws I saw.
There's so many layers.
Yeah, so many layers.
Like onions. Don't touch Justin with those layers.
And welcome to the dating game. We have more generic title. Welcome to Generic Dating Game. We have our guest Carla from Louisiana. Carla, you have 4 suitors. Why don't you start a question by asking suitor number 2?
Yes, because I am suitor number 2, and I am glad that you are asking me first, because I can tell that whatever suitor number 1 has to offer, you don't want none of that. You want me.
We at
Suitor number
NBC
2.
like to support giving our suitors a free mic for whatever they want to talk about, their life and self.
And I am sure thankful for
So, give us a
NBC
question
to
for
have
suitor number
given,
two.
Number 2.
given me a mic that I can
Suitor
talk
number
on.
2, you're gonna talk. Mine's after the question.
You always talk so freely when around. That communication.
Yes.
Do you communicate well? Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you for having me on. I am suitor number 2. I would like to iterate again that I am a human and not 2 crocodiles stacked on top of
And then trench coat.
The kids.
What do you do for fun, suitor number 2?
I like to hang out down by the pond, eat some dogs with my friends.
Normal things.
So, Crystal.
Definitely,
That's not my name.
definitely don't eat people. I wouldn't do that. I would not
I had a person once.
lure someone into a trap where I get them as a host of a game show that I am on that I might eat them. I would not do that because I am a human person, comma, suitor number 2. Thanks for having me on. My next character was going to be a suit maker who came on the wrong show because he thought
Yeah. I just,
he thought he was
I
auditioning
just
for
really want to
his
meet
job.
characters. That's the sign.
Suit man.
Yeah.
Your dad's a preacher. Do you trust him?
I've heard my dad talk about like movies with nudity in them that he has never watched. He's my big
Titanic?
supporter of the whole don't review a movie you haven't seen because he does it so much. And I'll be like, you haven't seen this movie.
My dad all the time makes Breaking Bad references, and he's never seen Breaking Bad. And it drives me up a wall, because I'm like, Dad, you would actually
Like,
enjoy
how
this
did you
show.
even
Please
get
just
that
go
far
watch this
up that
show.
wall? So,
I do think it would be a good segment if we just called our dads sometime.
I
I was supposed to go see my dad tonight, and I did not.
Because you don't love him?
No, because I was having guests over, and we were going to make tacos, and he wasn't going to get home before I could get back
You
and
could call
make
him.
tacos. I could call him right now. Well, I already told him I wasn't going to make it, so.
send Crystal over. Just Crystal.
I'm great with fathers.
Do your parents get along with Crystal?
I don't know. My grandma likes her.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, my parents like Crystal.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
What if it's
Everyone in my family very genuinely likes Crystal.
I think my
Since she's a
parents
genuinely
like
likable
Kylie,
person.
and I think anyone else in my family can't dislike Kylie any more than they dislike me, because I'm very much more dislikable. She really doesn't post anything on Facebook that makes her uncles disown her or anything like that.
Did you do that?
I did do that.
What'd you
I
do?
did do that. So, a few years ago, this was, okay, so basically, I think this was during the during the primaries for 2016. And nothing was settled yet, but it was looking like it was going to be Bernie or Hillary versus, like, Trump or Ted Cruz, basically. Because that's all it came down to anyway. And I went on Facebook and I was like, hey guys, despite everything I've been told all my life, I'm going to register as a Democrat.
Oh, I remember
Vote for Bernie Sanders. That led my great uncle to send me a bunch of Facebook messages. Now, this guy doesn't even know me. I haven't talked to this guy since I was 5 years old. My uncle disowned me. My uncle disowned me. My uncle disowned me over that. He was so mad that I
Do you
would
mean
do
like in
such a
literal
thing.
paperwork? He went through.
No,
paperwork
he
and disowned
said,
you?
I don't want anything to do with you.
Oh, okay.
Also, he called me a heretic. Most of my extended family does hate me.
For that reason or for others?
I'm a Democrat. I think gay people are people.
Human beings?
Yes, I think they're. I think
Well,
they
you're
are
pretty
real
much the
human
scum of
people.
the earth.
Honestly,
for
in their
thinking
eyes,
that.
that is what they believe. They think I'm the worst of the worst. These are people who have never left like a 50-mile radius inside their place they were born
Asshole.
in Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Radius.
Probably never
Yeah.
left their asshole.
Yeah. So they all hate me, and they all accuse me all the time of trying to start arguments, which I think, and I'm not a fair critic, but I think that I don't start arguments on Facebook. I think I just say things on Facebook, and then my asshole relatives come on and start a whole bunch of arguments on Facebook.
That is such an irritating thing when you say something and someone starts arguing with you, and then you like defend what you said, and they're like, "Why are you arguing to me about this?" I was like, "I said a sentence. You started arguing what I just said."
Have you scrolled through all of my like crazy family stuff like that? Like I
That'd
can
be
show
very
you.
odd of you if you had.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
no,
recently.
No, I show it off all the time. Let me see.
But I have. Tyler hasn't. I have gone through.
Oh, have you?
A lot of my
extensive-
that's Facebook time recently.
What have you found? Have you found what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to
I
be
found
true?
the whole thing all out.
All 6.
Your aunt said some really terrible things.
Who?
Your aunt. Great aunt.
Oh, Janelle.
Oh, Janelle.
Janelle is
That's
crazy.
her name. Yeah.
Janelle is insane. I have a whole folder of screenshots of just things Janelle says on Facebook.
What,
is that a
should be
segment?
a game? Yeah,
is that
I
a
was gonna
segment we're
say,
starting
things
right now?
Janelle says.
Okay, let me pull that up.
So while you're finding that,
Here's a picture of every state that can fit inside Texas.
I was looking at that earlier today because it's saved on my things from a year ago memories.
Here's a
from year
political
ago.
quiz I took recently. You can say that things are getting way out of hand. I used to be over here, and just in the past few months, I'm creeping way over there. Things are getting a little red, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Socialism. Okay, here's a thing Janelle says. Here's a picture of the Berlin Wall, and it says, East Berlin built the wall to keep people from leaving. We want to build a wall to keep people from coming in.
that's
So just imagine the most racist person you can imagine, and then multiply them by the number of people that is in my family, and that's what my family looks like.
I mean, like, I think my only thing with that is it just, it feels like kind of a stretch of a connection there. I don't know, just it's like two.
I don't think
two
Berlin really has
different
anything to do
statements,
with it.
Yeah.
Here is, it's just a wall. That's the only. Anyway, here's my grandma, so not my great aunt. This is the other side of the family, mind you. So this is coming from both sides of my family. This is the page is from United Deplorables of America, and it has Smokey the Bear, but his head is photoshopped off, and it's Donald Trump's face. And it says, he has a sign next to him, and it says, remember, only you can prevent, and then it's poorly photoshopped out, and it says, Democrats from getting into office.
You know, I don't think only them can. I think it would take a lot of you. Only all of you can prevent.
Oh, this is one of the most racist things I've ever seen. So this is also my grandma.
I hate the blacks.
This is from
Wait,
the...
Crystal, were you just saying something?
I was quoting.
normally?
I read.
Yeah, Crystal,
I
You were
read
not
his
speaking,
family's
chiming in.
Just thinking,
I read that it's what his grandmother posted when I.
This page is
Did my
from
Snoopy.
American Patriot. It's got a picture of a bald eagle and some flags there. It says, at the peak of slavery in 1860, only 1.4% of Americans owned slaves. What your history books doesn't tell you is that 3,000 blacks owned a total of 20,000 slaves the same year. If you're sick of the race baiting, please like and share.
That's another thing where it's just you're pretending the saying facts are making any. I don't know.
It's racist, right? It's just racist. This is what I was talking about. This is the blatant racism I see, or the veiled racism, however you want to describe it. It's just the racism.
I feel like that was
get from my
blatant.
family.
Yeah.
This one is from someone who is a friend's parent, and he's still local, so I don't know why I'm friends with him on
He's
Facebook,
local.
but I don't want to say his name just in case someone knows him.
Yeah.
But it says... His caption is LOL, and it has a picture of Will Ferrell from Talladega Nights, and it says, "Dear sweet baby Jesus, on this 4th of July, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart that Satan's grandmother, Hillary Clinton, is not our president. Amen." That's from the Common Sense Conservative. That's his idea of humor. Do you think your humor is better than his humor? I think it's fair you can say yes now. Here's my grandma with a picture of a Marine with no legs, and it says, "Facebook says this photo is offensive. Share the hell out of it."
Okay, I dropped my pen, but it's just out of anger on when things say, like, this
That
person
having
doesn't
no
want you to
legs
do
is-
this. Like, it's almost over, like, no one cares. Democrats don't want us to share this picture,
Yeah.
and it's someone wearing a shirt with an American
Yeah.
flag on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one cares about you, this picture of someone wearing a shirt.
Have you seen the picture of the old woman? And she's wearing a shirt, and it's a picture of the back of the shirt, and it says...
So far, I've seen the picture.
Yeah,
Woman
and
wearing
it
a
just
shirt.
says something like, if NFL players want to disrespect the flag and kneel, then why don't we send them out to go die in foreign countries or whatever?
Do you ever see the things on Facebook that are like political things on celebrities that are just so obviously photoshopped on there that they
Yeah.
don't look real at all?
Did you hear,
People
speaking of
shares and-
Photoshop, did you hear that my dad lied on Facebook and told everyone that he was Asian?
I mean, I saw him show his ancestry thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, this says I'm Asian.
That was all Photoshop. That was a lie. He got Michaela to do that for him. And so, all my life, people have thought my dad is Asian. He's like, no, I'm not Asian, I'm not Asian. We actually buy him a DNA kit for Father's Day this year, and he gets the results, and the first thing he does is he goes on Facebook, he has Michaela Photoshop everything, and he says he's 60% Asian.
That's hilarious. I respect.
No,
those.
it's not.
No,
It's
that's
not,
really funny.
because-
I'm on
I'm a big fan of that work.
Than you.
Because
Oh.
the next day I come into work, I thought I was Asian for like 6 hours. I was
Okay, that's why it's bad. He didn't tell you.
no, it wasn't until I was talking
You
to
were so
Michaela.
scared.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was talking to Michaela later that night, and I said,
haven't I been
I've
good
got to
at
buy a katana now. I've got to catch up on Naruto. I was like, my only solace is that for my whole life, everyone has said that whatever I get good at, some Asian kid is going to be better than me. I was like, nothing's holding me back now. I can do whatever I want. So it was like 6 hours I believed I was Asian. And then Michaela's like, you know I photoshopped that, right? I said, what? And she said, yeah, that's totally fake. I just changed the words and the picture, and Dad posted it. I was like, this is beyond the prank. Because my father is telling everyone that he's Asian, and I was too for this night.
That's so
It took him 3 days before he took down that post, and all he did was like, JK, LOL, like, I was kidding. Like, he
I
wasn't
would
even
never
specific
say I
about
was
it.
kidding.
And now,
Just like,
and now
so funny
for
it
my
is.
whole life, everyone who's come up to me and been like, no, you're Asian. I'm like, no, I'm really not. Now they had all their suspicions confirmed, and they're like, no, you're really Asian. I saw your dad post it on Facebook. I'm like, no, I am really not Asian.
And like they have to go this long search to find his JK LOL.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't even know what it was about because he was so vague about it.
Literally just wrote JK.
And Michaela was in cahoots with him. I was like, Michaela.
I'm really a supporter of this joke. I would be so proud of my
To
father.
just lie about your race, though?
Yeah.
Is that not crossing a line? I feel like So now I'm bummed because now whatever I am good at, be it this podcast or music or whatever, there will be some Asian kid who can do it better than me, and I'll never be the very best.
What actually was he?
He's
normal?
European. He's a white guy with squinty eyes and dark skin, and
Asian.
a bald round head. Yeah,
Yeah, everything you've described sounds like Jeff Oden.
right. So anyway, that's how my family disowned me.
Is your father a Republican?
Yes. And actually, the night that I was like, hey guys, I'm going to register as a Democrat, y'all are ridiculous. Dad's like, you have to take that down. What if my mom is going to see it? What if my grandparents, what if your mom's family is going to see it? Like, what are they going to think of us? Like, Grandpa fought in Vietnam and it was the liberals who was spitting on him, and what is he going to think of that? And I said, Dad, I don't endorse people spitting on Pa because he was in Vietnam. I'm just saying, like, the Republican Party is ridiculous. Because that's the world they were wrapped up in. My whole family is a crazy right-wing cult, basically. And my parents moved us up to Washington, and I think I'm breaking them out a little bit, but I don't know. It just all seems like fake family nonsense. Like, nothing is real. They don't have, like, real emotions. It's all like, hey, how are ya? How's the weather?
I was recently having a very similar discussion about how that generation is kind of set more just in, like, their appearance, how they look, having a house, having a wife, having successful kids.
Yeah, or it's about the image of it, and then they've created an image that they don't actually like, and then they're too obsessed with destroying it.
Once they'd get married and get a house, they'd be like, well, now I'm happy. And then they realize that they're actually pieces of shit.
They didn't have any, like, depth to their character, I think.
They didn't write past the first season.
Right.
They only wrote the pilot.
Almost like a podcast.
Yeah.
Where there was not clear instructions.
Remember when we did the first podcast and we took like 10 minutes before and we just wrote out notes and we're like, all right, this is how we're going to do the show.
Yeah.
And we did it and we're like, okay, next time we need to plan it out a lot more.
Yeah.
And then tonight, you're like, oh, hey, Crystal's going to come over. Let's just record an episode. I was like, all right, knock it out. And here we are doing
exactly
the
same thing.
Yeah. Maybe even less preparation now.
Yeah, it was 3 minutes.
Yeah. It was intense 3 minutes, too.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to ask a question.
Yeah.
But I think to ask that question, I have to bring out my old buddy, the snake doctor, Ron Calamondo. So I'll be back. You guys talk. I'm going to go grab Ron Calamondo.
Are you, is she close with her family?
No, not really.
You know what? You don't need them. You don't need family.
Pop diddly do. Well, howdy do there. I'm Ron Calamondo.
Ahoy!
Thank you.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, I'm a snake doctor.
Because he's Asian.
Well,
So, does that mean you heal snakes, or do you use snake body parts to heal people?
well, you know, when I went to school...
Or are you a snake with a doctorate?
I was about to get myself into the words, my boy. I was raised not a snake. I was raised a gentle giant in Idaho. But then my family moved ourselves to Canada, where I found a nice school for teaching snakes. I, of course, was not a snake, so I had to go under disguise. And while under disguise as a snake...
Under disguise what?
Pretending to be a snake.
Under disguise what?
Under disguise that,
Under disguise
looked
butt?
like
Under disguise
a
where?
snake. You know, like when...
Under disguise...
what's that glass thing you put fish in?
Under disguise.
That glass thing with the fish in
tank.
it? Yeah, but there's an aquarium. An aquarium
It seemed
with
like
a
you knew the word.
snake. I had to figure it out there.
A snake
We got
aquarium.
a snake aquarium. On the roof of that, there's a little sky. That makes sense? Okay. So, while pretending to be a snake at snake school, I started to appreciate the lifestyle of snakes. Once I had fully appreciated the lifestyle of snakes, I myself was able to go to school like a normal snake would do, get my doctorate, get my ID card, all with the fake identity that I was a snake. So, in the dictionaries and in the Guinness Book of World Records, if it said most popular snake doctor that's a snake who works on snakes, that would be me.
So you had to go to school to get registered as a snake first, and then you were able to go to school and get registered as a
I
snake
lied on my
doctor.
papers. I'm not actually a snake. I'm a human being.
He skipped snake school, went straight to Dr. Snake school.
Yeah.
Is that better
So,
than
I
a
have a-
human doctor?
I have a bachelor in human studies, but I started to understand I like snakes better.
During school, or was this,
This was-
after your...
Okay, so I go to school.
We're finding some holes in your
No,
characters.
no,
Since
no.
Mr.
Like the
Snake
book,
Doctor.
bro.
It almost seems
Hey,
like maybe you're not who
There
you
is
say
no
you are.
holes in Ron Calamando's story. Maybe a few of his
In
names.
fact,
Maybe
might I
his
say,
name,
you
because-
look an awful a lot like our friend Tyler Jacobs, who just left this room a few minutes ago.
I don't
seem
think
to
he looks
think
like
I
him.
passed
I've
that
seen
man
Tyler,
on my way
not
here.
him.
Seen all over that Tyler.
Where's Tyler, and what did you do with him?
Where is he now?
Well, let's just say he's visiting my old buddy Snake.
Is he a real snake, or is that his name?
It's the Harry Potter.
Is it
service.
Snake
Yeah.
from Metal Gear Solid? Snape?
Snape service.
No, I'm noticing you two have taken fictional examples of snakes or snapes, and
Or snakes.
I was actually referring to a real life, not one I just made up to make up for the sentence I started almost 20 seconds ago. In fact, it's a real snake that my buddy Tyler's hanging out with right now. They might actually be taking a movie in or playing a game of dominoes.
What movie? If they were to choose a comedy.
Well, We're the Millers, obviously, would be a
Do
good
snakes,
comedy.
if a snake liked the
Snakes
movie, what
love
movie
We're the
would...
Millers. That's the whole reason I brought that movie up earlier. Because snakes fucking love the movie.
This is the first
We're
time
the
we've met
Millers.
you.
Yeah, wait, you are Tyler.
No.
It's Tyler in a snake disguise.
It was old man Tyler the whole time. This mask doesn't even look like a mask. This is just your face skin.
I'm guessing if Tyler, I'm assuming Tyler brought up We're the Millers earlier from what you just said.
You know how he always does that.
I had previously in the day seen Tyler. He said, hey, could you be a guest on my podcast? Before that, I was actually talking to him about We're the Millers. That's why I said I brought it up earlier in the day to someone who I didn't even know was here yet. He's somewhere, right? He's with my buddy Snake, taking in a movie. Now remember, no holes in this story. But there are holes in the movie Holes.
Holes.
Back to that, yeah. With those
But there
delicious
are
Were you
holes
talking
in that
about-
story.
that got me. That got me. It's me. It's Tyler. Dang it.
I knew it. I knew it the whole
Trick myself
time.
into that one.
I told you
I
so.
didn't
I
see
told
that.
you this
Wow.
time.
Yeah. I don't spend enough time with him.
When
I
he
did
came-
not recognize him.
When he came out, I told you, like, Tyler's just gonna walk back out and he's gonna have an accent and we're gonna find him out.
Okay, so Crystal, earlier in the day. Oh, not time. Actually, I kind of want to keep talking about
Wait,
that.
hold on.
I kind of enjoy talking
Can we
about
do?
that.
I had this other segment we were
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
read where
do your segment. Mine doesn't matter.
where we read
Continue. No, I just had to cry for
where
a second.
we read listener reviews. So
Oh,
I got
yeah,
a few
do it.
listener reviews here. Would you guys like to hear them?
I would, yeah.
This one comes in all the way from the internet. I don't know
It's far.
if this is like actually funny or just funny because I know you guys. Cool.
Love
It's
it,
a
love
good-
it.
All
Good
right.
opinion.
Yeah.
This one also comes from a text message. I really wanted to laugh, but unfortunately, without a laugh track, I wasn't confident as to when.
Makes
So we
sense.
talked about that earlier. People aren't.
Gender gap.
Yeah. They came, they talked, not much else happened. I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think,
we did talk.
yeah, that was mostly
Was
The
it
show.
We
even
did a
Concord?
podcast, I guess.
I
I think we did a podcast
I
that
think
day.
people usually like to.
Well,
come
I
and
thought that
conquer.
was what. I don't know. Maybe our idea of where we want to take this thing is different than what people
Yeah,
expect.
yeah.
Yeah, it was okay, I guess. I remember a joke or two.
So they remember
That's
two
all I
of the
want.
jokes, I'm guessing. Is that what they meant right there?
Yeah.
Two of the jokes, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
I
like,
said at least
as a
three.
ratio of total jokes that we told
Yeah,
throughout
that's
the show,
2/3 of the jokes.
2 is pretty good. I'm glad we can have those kind of numbers. I couldn't see their faces, but I could tell they were ugly.
Yeah.
That was me.
They heard this episode. Wow.
Yeah, that just
I wish
seems
I
a
wrote
little
that.
unfounded.
I agree, though.
But,
that one seemed a little.
you know, the customer knows best, so
Yeah.
we gotta work on that, I guess.
Maybe makeup.
Makeup? Yeah, we should hire a makeup artist.
Yeah.
That's true.
It would really help me get into the spirit of the podcast more into the
Maybe
characters,
wigs.
I think.
Also.
Yeah,
Throw that
honestly,
out
if we
Okay.
had different wigs.
I support this idea, but I feel like you're forgetting. They don't see what we look like.
there. Also, the wig you have now is
No.
fine, but getting a new one would be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, more wigs. More wigs.
Yeah.
Offbeat humor, more like off, as in, I turned it off because it wasn't good and there was no humor.
That's my favorite type.
Also, I would rather get eaten by mosquitoes than use this product again because this stinks. Like off, the mosquito repellent.
I appreciate that person.
Yeah. Good.
I liked the callback in it. Like the,
The off.
they used the, yeah, it
Yeah.
was nice. It flowed well in general. I can see
Yeah.
that in the poetry.
It didn't
slam.
turn me off. Yeah.
Yeah, I am ready and willing.
Definitely. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
could have really positive feelings about mosquitoes also. Like, oh god, I really want to go get eaten by mosquitoes.
I hadn't gotten so far yet as to begin the psychoanalysis of all of our commenters. That's something we mentioned before that we wanted to do. So anyone who comments on our stuff, like, we hire a psycho-anal rapist to come in
I don't think we should hire them.
and
To be honest
think
with
they
you.
do
I think
it
we
for
should have
free.
a better screening.
yeah, and they just give us a whole psychological
Eval.
summary of all of our commenters.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, speaking of that, Crystal, I wanted to play a little game with both of you, actually. Not just Justin. I said that because I made it sound like it was just going to be Crystal. And I said just Justin. Thank you explaining that joke there. If...
Do you ever think? I just genuinely for a second. Do you ever think about the fact that you have the word "just" in your name? Because
That's where my
I
name
always
comes
think
from.
about the fact that like my name says "cry" in it,
Wow.
and I just when he said "just
I
Justin,"
hadn't-
it's all I could think.
I
of.
hadn't thought that you had cry in your name.
Crystal.
I do think
that.
about the word just in my name. It's where the name comes from. But more than that, it also contains the word in. And that means that whenever I get somewhere, people will say, oh, it's just in
Yeah.
time.
Justin.
Yeah.
You're just
it's
in
like-
time.
A
Yeah.
kid told me once,
It's
"What's your name?
hilarious.
Just
I
in
gotta
time."
tell you.
All I always remember.
It gets me going every time.
Yeah.
I crack up.
That's why I have a hard time now at Tuckero, though, because Tuckero is such a fun name to make, like, play on words
Like
things
racist
with.
jokes at. Yeah.
But, like, I try so hard just not to make puns off of people's names because they probably hear them from every old
Right.
man they ever talk to. So I'm like, if I'm gonna make it really obvious ones about things I see, objects in the room, like.
My boss, Joe,
Mm-hmm.
every time I see him, I say, hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? And anytime anyone else says, hey, Joe, I say, where are you going with that gun in your hand? And he hates it
I bet he
so
does.
much.
He'll.
He says, I'm not even acknowledging you anymore, Justin. That's
You're-
not...
You're at his funeral, and they're like, "Do we know him?" Like, that's the guy that always had a gun in his hand. But I wanted to know your genuine opinion. This is
I was
this
on
game
another
I wrote down
coworker-
here called Crystal Comments,
Oh.
which is where, like, I'm going to say, if you were at the store and we're standing in line, you pull your wallet out and you start to grab money, but instead you find cheese. What is your first response? I pulled out the word cheese. I did not know that I was going to say that. Fun fact for the viewers. What do you do?
I say, hey, why is there cheese in my wallet? And what happened to my money? Do you have my money? Did you see what happened with my money? Do you know who took my wallet and delicately removed the money and replaced it with slices of American cheese? Did
Yeah,
you see which way they went?
No,
Because I was robbed, it seems.
That's genuinely
Can
a
you
good
help me
response because that sounds like honestly, that sounds like a really sad story.
Yeah.
Like, if you're about to pay, you don't have money, you have cheese instead.
Yeah.
Crystal, I need you to make your real opinion.
And I'm not going to eat that cheese because it's been in my wallet, which is where my money is kept, and that's just a lot of germs.
You wouldn't eat the cheese?
No. If you found cheese in your wallet, you would eat it?
Yeah.
No. That's where you keep money. Money is a gross.
I feel like
Do you not eat money?
if I knew where the cheese came from that was in my wallet, then I would eat it. If it was like new cheese, I'm like, where did that cheese come from? I'm not eating that
temperature of the
cheese.
cheese. Because warm
I'm
cheese is
guessing
very
body
upsetting.
temperature because
Yeah.
it's been in your pocket.
Okay, well,
Or purse temperature for you, probably. I don't know if you keep
I
your
carry
wallet.
fridges.
Oh, just in case. Just
Yeah,
in case.
actually, you know what?
Justin.
Let's
Justin.
move on to that
Justin.
really
Do
quick.
that.
Crystal, you said that you've been thinking about becoming a purse person because you're not normally a purse person.
Yes.
What?
I
is
don't,
Your, yeah. What?
Like, own, yes.
Yeah. What's your reason? I mean, like, what's your thought? What's making you want to change that? If you and I feel like you're not going to. I feel like you're gonna end up not getting a purse.
Yes.
But tell us your thoughts. Tell us why you're having this little debate.
I think it'd be cool to carry Band-Aids. That's one of the biggest reasons. And I don't
What do
know,
you do
all my
now?
friends
Do you just
need-
carry around?
I often need Band-Aids. So I
I think he meant about your stuff, not the Band-Aids. But please.
I'm cutting myself all the time and I don't have. I'm just so clumsy. I mean, like, do you just carry around your purse?
No, I have no purse.
Or, I mean, your wallet?
My wallet is my phone, and my phone is my wallet.
Okay, and you don't need anything other than that.
Band-Aids.
I got my money and my money on my mind.
So, like, if you could tuck
Maybe some
Band-Aids
quarters.
into your...
You could definitely fit Band-Aids into your phone wallet.
I haven't thought that.
Like, if there's anything you can fit in there, it's Band-Aids.
Tuck a couple Band-Aids in. Tuck a row, couple of Band-Aids
Oh,
in.
Takaro, yeah. I told Takaro he just needs to tell me to stop because I'll not stop. Continue.
You're genuinely right. I could have been having Band-Aids this whole time. You know, other reasons? People put flasks in there. And maybe some antibacterial stuff.
You'd put antibacterial stuff
to
in a
help with
flask.
the Band-Aid.
So you'd have an
So it looks like you're pouring alcohol over yourself, but you're actually just using hand sanitizer. You don't want to look suspicious.
It's always like, can I drink out of that? And you're like, sure. And like, it's hand sanitizer. And like, I don't drink it. I was like, you asked for it.
I'm not an alcoholic.
This is for my
I'm just very sanitary.
Crystal, genuinely choose. Would you rather have Himalayan rock salt or poop? So both
I'm gonna
things
say
Crystal
the
wrote
rock
down.
salt.
What's your opinion?
I wish we didn't know that Crystal
Justin,
wrote that.
what would
so
you
then we
rather-
could blame
What would you rather Crystal
some
have?
dumb person.
Poop or Himalayan rock salt?
Is poop a noun or a verb?
I think the
Because
question.
I hope she doesn't lose the ability to poop if I say Himalayan rock salt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're just eating food and you're not able to poop, well, you're just gonna die.
Well, I'm gonna pull a fast one with you guys. If we flip up the word, it says dude. Or boob? No, it says dude.
It says boob.
It
if
says
you
boob,
look
yeah, the way I'm
through
looking
it,
at it.
yeah.
That's yeah, backwards.
Crystal, would you rather have poop, dude, or boob?
I'm gonna say poop.
Yeah. I have poop.
The ability
every
or to
day.
possess it, because I'd like both. But
Yeah.
interesting. That was
So,
good.
so your final answer was poop. Okay.
Oh yeah,
So,
I'd also put that in my purse.
okay, so I don't think we need this mic going, so I want to go onto my dad's Facebook. My grandpa's Facebook. Really quick.
Do you have some gold in there?
Yeah, I want to. We can just look. He's very
Do you wanna-
recently got a Facebook account. Jim Marshall.
Did you see the thing where my uncle I posted something about, what did I post? Oh, I was like, hey, maybe this whole Republican Jesus thing isn't coming out because there are kids on the border, in cages. And he says, well, what about abortion? And I said, that's a red herring. You're not arguing what the argument is. And he said, the real red herring is how Democrats are hiding up abortion. I said, look, we're not having a conversation here.
Wait, are hiding up?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that
I don't know.
term.
I don't know what I said. I could just read the thing, but it's long. And here's another one from Aunt Janelle. It says, I finally learned how to remove the tabs at the top of my computer page that was taking us so much space. Yeah. Thanks, Janelle.
I'm glad that's who's voting for our Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah.
Oh man, have you ever seen the Facebook group Please Show to Jim?
No.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's just like people screenshot things elderly people wrote on Facebook, and like everybody like, but it's like not like me. It's always like really sweet, nice things like that are just like,
Okay, so
oh,
it's
that
not
poor little
cringy.
bee. No, it's like I some of them are like things, but okay, like this thing. Okay, it was one of this person wrote, okay, flip it. People hate me ever since I write in predictive text. This woman commented, get well soon, Leo. like people who just genuinely, obviously don't understand how the internet works. And
Yeah.
like this little woman tried to write, get well soon, Leo.
This is a video that one of my friends posted, and it says, Avenged Sevenfold, so far away, vocals only. His voice is insane. Avenged Sevenfold. That guy. So far away is what he sounds like.
Did you listen to their first album?
Yes.
He actually took vocal classes.
Well, Avenged Sevenfold...
He was even worse than the first.
Well, Avenged Sevenfold is the only band where they released music that made me retroactively hate everything they ever did.
Wow.
Hail to the King was such a bad album that I hated everything they had released before then.
Did you hate yourself too?
I did. Well, yeah, 16-year-old me was awful. Into Avenged Sevenfold.
Do you have the sideways shirts and stuff?
No, but I had all the music.
The shirts where it's like because their logo was like.
I think I
going
get
that
what
way.
you're
You
saying, but I didn't have.
I remember you. The only reason I'm saying is I remember you vividly. Visually, I remember you having an Avenged Sevenfold shirt that was like angled down, with the words.
I don't think he did, but I would understand why your brain would create that image of me at some point, because that's like
Who
the
you are.
aura that I
entity,
present.
yeah.
Yeah. With a monster in my hand, a Monster energy drink, because that was the whole
Franklin.
personality.
You had long hair.
Yeah.
I did when I was researching your family.
Yeah. Well,
Not you, because that'd be weird.
That was my whole personality when I was 16. Was like, hey, I'm a guy who likes Monster energy drinks and listens to Avenged Sevenfold.
Was that a song? You kind of have a little.
I feel like that's a good way to describe
yeah.
a lot of 16-year-old boys, though. It should be a song. We should write a song
The
about
way
it.
you said it too was like to a little beat. You were like, I was.
Avenged Sevenfold. Drinking Monster energy drinks.
Yum.
Bum, bum, bum. That's what I was like when I was 16 years old.
Oh,
It was
I
not
feel like I
good.
was
I
going
don't
to 16
like
and-
talking about those times.
years old.
You started dating your milady.
I did start
Yeah.
dating my milady there.
Marmalade.
Marmalade.
I don't know how I kept her through all
Yeah,
through
with
all
all that
those
Avenged
cringy.
Sevenfold.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
did she listen to?
Not Avenged Sevenfold.
Not Avenged Sevenfold. A lot of
Avenged
like
Sixfold.
Scene,
The pre.
Never Shout Never, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, the
That's
main.
not like you started Panic at the Disco is a great band.
Eh.
Wow.
I mean, I guess they're growing on me, but yeah,
Like Panic at the Disco.
yeah.
I wouldn't label them as like the scene girl. Oh my god.
Oh.
No, yeah. Okay, never mind. Just making more realizations about myself
Oh, are
than
you?
about anything else.
Yeah.
So,
What changes have you come into going into adulthood?
I got boobs.
I mean, okay. I
A
wasn't
lot
gonna,
of physical ones.
I wasn't gonna ask how, like,
I think
how
you're making us
puberty
all a little
changed
uncomfortable.
you.
This is the second time you've brought up boobs. And now this time about crystals.
I just mean, what things do you hate about yourself from when you were younger?
I would have my
Other
hair.
than a lack of boobs, I don't know.
I did my hair directly down the middle of
Well,
my face,
this is
so
our
my
first and
bangs
last show
covered
we ever
down.
have on the...
It was really bad, and no one could see my face, and my teacher would always push my hair out of my face and be like, "You can't see the board." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I can."
darkness of your heart. I was born in the darkness. I was molded by it. I didn't see the light there until I was already a man.
Instead of his like mouthing,
So
it's actually
great.
just my hair.
Hand is so great to watch. I'm so happy you did that. It's so great to watch him do that with his hand. I almost did something. I held myself back. I almost did it. I was going to impersonate you doing it, and I was like, no, I'm doing what I didn't want to do.
Because I'm not going to cut it. This is my mic. I'm keeping that if you do it.
No.
If you let yourself get to
If
that
it
point.
happens-
If I
You
do
won't
one, will
expect
you
it.
do one?
I thought about that, but I decided no.
Okay. Also, I mean, I had plenty of things I hated about myself when I was 13. But, wait, did we say 16? 16-year-old me was
Whatever.
pretty dope.
Okay.
But
I have two things I need to say.
Okay.
Okay, first off, this isn't important, but I just want to. I love this meme that an old lady shared on Facebook that says "distracted driving, circa 1976," and then the lady's driving and
She's
doing
doing the
YMCA instead of having her hand on the steering wheel. And she looks super happy to do it too. Like she's
That's
having a great
adorable.
time.
Until she crashes and dies from distracted driving.
Which is something
It's like-
that plagues.
That
it's an
com-
epidemic.
Yeah, it is.
That
So many
commercial-
teenagers die from
That
doing the
commercial is the
YMCA.
70s equivalent
Driving.
of the, like, this is Sarah's last text before she died. Like,
Oh,
that's
man,
that's what
yeah.
they did in 1970s. This grandma was just doing the YMCA before she died.
Distracted driving
you
kills.
Yeah.
Do you think YMCAing is cool?
What was the second thing you were going to say to Crystal?
It was to all of you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a
But
group
mostly
thing.
me. I really wanted to know who you're going to make eye contact with first. I was like on the edge of my seat, just
Yeah.
waiting for you to. Because if you were going to look at me before you looked at Justin, I was going to claim that it was to me.
Okay, so when we were at Delano Bay Christian Camp,
Mm-hmm.
see, I didn't take a look at him.
Yeah,
That was your
I
chance.
can see that. Oh, wait, what?
That was your chance. I looked at him when I started the story.
Yeah.
So we'll move on.
When we were
my
at
story.
Delano Bay Christian Camp,
Yeah. So this is a story. This is all connected to the word boob. Because I said, I said
did you
the
see a
word
boob at Delano Bay Christian
No,
Camp?
no. Well, maybe. No.
Huh.
Yeah, no. Okay. Just because we said the word boob, I started thinking about there was this thing. We were in like 9th, 10th grade camp,
Okay.
and me, you, we weren't the campers. It was a thing where we were doing 5th and 7th grade campers, 5th and 6th grade or something.
Yeah.
And you
We
there,
were
I was there,
counseling.
Michael there, and
Hunter sent that letter.
so yeah, okay. So we're all talking about life, different people and things. You guys weren't there.
So it was actually a different story.
No, I mean it doesn't have to do. I'm just thinking of people who were at the camp. Okay, so I said the word boob. I don't even know in what context. It just was a word that somehow got said in this conversation between counselors, and apparently Julian Williams. I shouldn't have said his name.
Yeah.
Okay, but Julian's great. Don't blame the story that I'm saying is Julian is a wonderful person, human being. He's wonderful. But beyond that, he overheard the word boob said. I come home from camp and like I'm in all this trouble because apparently Julian told his family that I used the word boob and then it was talked about at church. And I come to church to all this drama because I said the word boob once at camp.
Oh, man.
And I didn't even remember doing it.
I'm sure you probably did.
I
Let's
know,
be
I
honest.
believe it happened. No, I believe it happened. It just like was, I was like, I came home to all this drama and
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? Like,
I have several stories about me going out to camp and then coming home and getting in trouble for things that I did or didn't do out
like
at
the
camp.
the hunter. With,
The hunter letter, yeah.
the
He
hunter
sent
letter
you
thing.
that he was like, "I'm gonna kill you" and like
I
cut
didn't
up your
even see
body.
it.
And
I don't know what the letter
Yeah.
said.
Oh, well.
I just know I got in trouble
my mom
for it
was
too.
in agony over it.
Yeah.
It was clearly a very, very bad joke that just didn't go over, and it shouldn't have. He was naive enough to think that it wouldn't have gotten to anyone except you and me. But they print off all of these letters, and like everyone saw it, and it never came to you. Another time, I got in trouble for no reason, because that time I got in trouble because Mom's like, "Do you condone this? Do you
You condone murder?
do you think we
Justin?
should chop Tyler?" I don't know what she was saying, but yeah.
That's kind of a jump.
Yeah.
He's trying to kill me in a letter, and then she's like, "Should we just chop him up?
It was
Should
very
we just do
gruesome.
it?
It was a gruesome
Should we just
letter,
chop up Tyler?
but it was a
and leave,
bad joke.
Actually,
The other time I got in trouble was when I was staying with Lawrence Redding and the other Reddings down in their cabin during a family retreat, whatever. So it's me and Joseph and Michael, and there are girls up in the lodge, our friends, our age, that we want to talk to. We don't want to do anything bad. We just want to go and talk to them. So Lawrence Redding goes to bed. We all get up, and we just walk up to the lodge where the girls are hanging out. And we just sit in the downstairs lodge, we're just hanging out, chatting, and we see Lawrence Redding, all like 7 feet of him, and like 400 pounds, walking up the hill towards us. Things went haywire. We just like all stood up, rushed around. There was a mad panic. The guys I was with, everyone else went upstairs to the kitchen to pretend like they were just getting stuff from the kitchen.
mm-hmm.
And I guess I didn't get that memo, and in the panic I just ran with the girls. They all ran back into their room, and I was like, that was close. I'm like, Justin, why are you here? I was like, I thought we were running away. I'm like, Justin, you gotta get out there. I'm like, okay. So I get out and I see Lawrence Redding has Joseph and Michael like by the ears, and I guess he like swung at Joseph too. Like he went to punch him. And he's like dragging him down the hill back to the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, sir, wait, I'm here too. You know, like a dumbass kid would say. And he's like, come here, twerp. And then my parents heard about it, and I got in a lot of trouble for that. We weren't doing anything. One year on my birthday, we lived over the fence from the elementary school.
Mm-hmm. You lived over a fence? Like your house levitated on top of the
It
fence?
was the planners of this neighborhood were...
Talented.
Did not talented, but
poorly executed.
Yeah, it was risky.
Talent.
We were just teetering there. But we were over the fence from the elementary school, and one year on my birthday, which is in the summer, so no one's in school, we just went over to play on the playground. And of course, my friends all climb up on top of the school, and they're running around on top of the school that my parents can see from their back window.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kicking all the balls that are up on the roof off the top, and they're just running around. We get home, guess who gets in trouble? Me. I wasn't even on the roof. I stayed down. Guess who else didn't get in trouble?
Wait.
No one. No one got
What
in
you're
trouble.
talking about? Who's in the story that you're talking about?
I don't know. Who was my friend when I was like 14?
I don't know.
Were
Well,
you
because
my
I
friend?
remember being on the roof of
Yeah.
that school.
You were them.
And
Yeah.
like I was like, was I in the story? Because
I think you might
I
have
climbed
been,
the roof of that school, like
Yeah.
your house.
And you can
And you
attest
didn't.
now that I did not climb
You
up
did
on
not
that.
climb that.
But I got in trouble after
uh,
that.
Jennifer Titsworth.
Why do you keep saying everyone's names?
I didn't mean to.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
was
like-
me
I
recalling
was terrified when you said my name. Not for
Yeah.
any reason. I just wasn't expecting
Yeah.
it.
People.
Don't you love how the chairs sound like you're farting?
Yeah, I was gonna think a whole bunch of farting.
Yeah, Tyler's
All from
totally not
Crystal.
farting.
Did a couple times. Yeah.
I
I,
don't
remember
think
me
it's
and
good.
Jennifer got on the roof, and maybe I think Michael too.
Jennifer and I.
Jennifer and I.
Jennifer.
yes.
When did you get in trouble and hate your 16-year-old self?
I was a really good human
Mormon girl?
my whole life. Actually, I was a really good Mormon girl. Yeah.
Hmm.
I never really did anything bad, so I had like
Except,
complete freedom all the time.
Taking
Yeah.
a African American to the prom.
Oh. Well, that was later. My dad's a racist.
Did you? Oh yeah.
I went to prom with a boy, Jalen.
Okay, and your dad is a racist.
And so I said, Dad, I got asked to prom.
Okay.
He said, who are you going with? What's the boy's name? And I said, Jalen. And he said, is he black? I said yes. And he beat me. No, I'm kidding.
Oh wow!
He didn't beat me.
Justin's face.
Oh my goodness. Oh
No,
my
my dad
goodness.
didn't do that.
I about had a
He
heart
was
attack.
really upset though. He genuinely was very upset. And
he
he had a
still go?
long talking with him on the porch for a very awkward amount of time. I went to prom multiple other times, and that was the only time that's ever happened.
I only went
But
to
I
my
only
school.
went with other white people.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you go with other black
I had
people?
only ever
I feel
been
like,
with that
no
one
offense,
black
Tyler, I
person.
feel like you should date more black guys just to get a good
Yeah,
sample size.
that's the only
I
black
don't
guy I've ever
support this.
dated.
Tyler's the only guy you dated?
No.
The only black guy.
The only black guy you dated?
Second black guy, not Jalen.
I'm the only guy Kylie's dated.
Well, yeah, she was 16.
Yeah, we were 16. We were both young.
When I was 16, that's what I thought was going to happen. But you know what?
Jalen didn't work out.
No, my dad's a racist. It wasn't. I had no intentions to ever. I had no intentions to ever be with Jalen. I'm sorry, Jalen.
Sorry, Jalen. R.I.P. Jalen.
Yeah, sure, we can clap.
So earlier we were talking about religion
Yeah.
and your religious differences.
Here's what I'll say. I don't want to talk about my religious feelings or beliefs on here. However, I will say that a good majority of my the religiousness in my life is to keep a healthy relationship with my family. But I mean, one would argue that it's unhealthy that I'm
Most
my
would
way
argue.
of taking it. Most.
We might be in a
So,
similar
yeah,
boat.
I think we are in a similar.
But if you don't want to talk about that, which is totally understandable since we
Yeah.
never talked about talking about it beforehand, I think it's time to ask ourselves, what is this podcast?
What's the name?
The not like.
The not
Uh-huh.
the not like haha funny podcast. So we've covered our bases. Like if people expect to
I thought
laugh,
there was
like
kinda in there.
not like
Haha.
kind of funny podcast. The not like haha kind of funny podcast. Basically, we've given ourselves an out. So if anyone says, I mean, it was okay, but I didn't
Yeah.
laugh.
Not like haha.
Well, we never claimed
Yeah.
that we were trying to make anyone laugh.
Just
But I mean, we touched on
informing.
politics.
Yeah.
We've touched on religion.
Shared a
Uh,
few laughs.
Yeah, so I think we could fall into any number of genres at this point.
You have another guest.
It's practically
You have
like
another
a,
guest coming, don't
a
you?
sermon.
Too?
A sermon.
This is like a sermon.
Is it?
No.
I've surmised from listening. Yeah.
So I have another guest. He's coming all the way out from Portugal. He is passionate about his successful podcast that he has produced. And he wants to come share his insight with us. Mr. Pablo Di Podcasto.
Hello, my name is Pablo Di Broadcaster.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you on.
I
So
love the attention.
I was just talking to my guest, Crystal, on our first.
Hello.
Yes, Crystal.
Yeah.
I've met you before, I
Yeah, we
believe.
go way back.
Yes. Bowling on the Thursdays.
Well,
It's the bowling league I joined when I was 8.
oh wow.
That same one.
Portuguese bowling league. Everyone needs to be on a Portugal bowling league from time to time.
That's
My
what I
parents
always
thought it was
hear.
important.
Yeah. Well, I understand you have a very successful career in podcasting, and I am starting a podcast, and I was wondering what advice you could share with an up and comer in
Well,
the game.
I have been known in the industry to sometimes make poor decisions. And my poor decisions has led me to the fame. But I can give you some examples of what not to do. Because sometimes my poor decisions are a little too poor. For example, at one point in a show I was doing, I had a guest physically milk a cow during the recording. Now, at the time I was like, oh, this is a hilarious gag. However, the listener could not hear the cow. They just heard uncomfortable sounds from the guest. Really, the guest did not enjoy it.
It was uncomfortable for me to watch.
Was the guest savvy in how to milk cows, or did you just bring a random cow and a
No,
random
they
guest?
had
and
no
say,
clue. They were terrible. I mean, honestly, I don't even think there was milk in the bucket.
That poor cow. Where did you get this cow?
You know, I'm starting to question whether it was actually, in fact, a cow. But I've already talked to the FBs, the I's about it. I've talked to all sorts of international broadcasting animal cruelty companies, and everyone says, let's just brush it under the table.
So you say that wasn't one of your best?
Oh, it was our most views, but I think you should focus more on things that will keep you out of prison.
Did you go to prison for?
No, but I have family relatives. Not any who have gone to prison, but I have family relatives who could come onto your show, is my point.
What are their names?
Paul. All of them are named Paul. It's a very common name in the Portugal families. We often
Oh, your last name is Portugal?
My last name is Portugal.
Oh, I had a
yes, Paul
misunderstanding
Portugal.
in my notes.
Yes,
Here.
both my sisters, all 3 sisters, 6 of my cousins, and my mother and father, all named Paul Portugal.
See, I was worried because I thought you were from Portugal, the country.
No,
and as this was going on, I was worried that
No,
I was being racist in my assumptions about you.
No, I am from the Bronx.
You can tell.
Thank you, yes. People often, they come up to me and they say, I cannot place that accent. Are you from LA? And I say, no, have you not met a Bronx man before? We have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Well, I'm glad we could have you on, Mr. Paul Podcasto Portugal.
Thank you.
It's been a real honor. You can come back anytime.
Here, you can take my bus pass.
Oh, thank you
thanks,
very much.
Tyler.
No, I will leave you
That
alone
was-
now.
That guy seemed really nice.
He's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Thanked me for his bus pass I gave him.
Yeah, for a minute I thought he was going to say something
Do any of
really
you know
racist.
where the bathroom is?
Which,
I would
Are
have
we still
sucked
here?
it if it was racist.
yeah, which I thought I made clear to
What
every
did he
guest
say that seemed like it was going to go? I
You
wasn't
said
here.
something
I wasn't in the
about
room.
hating the African American culture as a whole. That's what Paul said.
I did. Did he say that?
Yeah.
It's pretty racist.
Wow, I wasn't here, but I feel like I would argue that he did not say that.
Listen, you need
Well,
to
you
check your
wouldn't.
friends, man.
Yeah.
Keep having your people come on my
Check
podcast.
yourself before
and-
you Star Trek yourself.
Yes.
Did that
Keep
once.
it nowadays, not the future.
You know what that sound means.
Does Jeff like this?
So, something I was trying to get at earlier. We hinted at this in a private conversation that we had that would obviously never get posted online. Now, as far as I have seen, you would never record a conversation of me and post it online.
Never do that.
Uh,
I would send it to you and then you would post it, but that didn't happen either.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen because I know that. Because why would I post a secret recording?
Yeah, you'd want
Of
to be like,
myself.
when was I recorded?
I would be,
who
how did
recorded
you-
me?
how, where?
What?
And then post it.
So, but we did have one conversation that I know that we didn't talk about on the podcast, where we hinted at the concert that we did together. And an interesting, I'm not going to explain it. I mean, if you guys missed it, you missed it. There was a girl, is it fair to call her a girl? I don't want to,
What does that
I
mean?
don't want to
I
paint
think
with,
you need to
paint
describe
with
the
broad
sex.
strokes.
more
But
detail.
this person, let's take this back. We were at a concert that we were going to put on, and we were the headliners because we were good or something. And this chick was mad
Because I've
at
done a whole bunch of
us.
concerts for that company, and so they said, we want you to be the headliner.
Yeah.
Continue.
And we didn't want her to be mad at us, but we were going to shrug it off and sit through her set. And she asked us to leave in the middle of her set, which, by the way, was to one person that wasn't us. There was one person in the room that wasn't us.
Yeah, 2/3 of the audience left.
Yeah. So we asked, "Are you sure you want us to leave?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, because we were quietly enjoying this, but if you
That's
want
not
us
even
to
what
leave,
happened.
we can leave."
But that's not how it happened, too, though.
Huh.
You volunteered, because she said, she was, like, super passive-aggressive about it. She's sitting up there on stage, she's like, "I'm sorry, guys, my friend came here, and I want to do a good show, but
well, she was like,
it's just
I
so
wasn't even gonna
uncomfortable."
perform
Yeah.
unless my friend showed up.
She was like, these two misogynistic people are here, whatever, and then you said, do you want us to leave? Like, would it be better for you if you left? And, like, you volunteered it, and then she was like, it was like she was wanting someone to say it. So when you finally said it, then she was like,
She
that would
jumped on
make me better. That would make me feel better.
Well, I asked myself that night,
We're not misogynistic.
was her performance there that was to absolutely no one, that she drove out like an hour to do and like prepared for, and she performed to absolutely no one. I asked myself, is that art? Is this the type of performance art that no one sees? And if so, like, what does that...
Well, I mean, I definitely think art
I think it's
isn't
not because she
about-
was mean. She doesn't get art. She's not allowed to have it.
I mean, I think it was definitely still. I think it was. Like, there's the whole thing where when we would do with my band, when we do shows at Lavoyer, which is small, and we usually only have like 6-7 people in the audience for those shows. The drummer James would always say, "This is just like a practice." He's like, because it doesn't feel like a real show.
Yeah.
It feels like we're just practicing for 6 people. Even if no one showed up, I feel like we're still making art. We're still doing something. And her whole music, I didn't enjoy because it was her
Soulless?
slowly copying a style. I said that she sounded like
Kimmy
the Moldy Peaches slowed down really slowly. Like, she was like talking like that. But
I wasn't interested in the music,
but it
she
was
was playing. I
still
thought it was really bland
art.
and boring. Is
in
it?
a sense, I think.
Is it? Did she create something? And if so, did she create something for someone?
I think copying something can still be art, but it's not a pure
Was she
form of art.
expressing anything?
I like.
Was there a
Her
single
hatred of
emotion?
you.
Yeah. So maybe it was art, but not in the sense that it was intended. Maybe it was art because we were able to talk about it in a
anything was
podcast.
art. Yeah, you could say that sentence was art. But
If you know out there, you know. But I think I'm really glad we had our guest on here tonight.
Yeah.
Crystal Barclay, and two just very attractive men came on too. I wish I could have been here. I wanted to ask those guys some questions.
Yeah, I feel like you guys were.
I am still here, actually. I just got back from the...
Sorry, we're ending the show now. You can leave.
Okay, goodbye.
Really wish I could have gotten some time to talk to those people.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have you guys on. We'll coordinate the bathroom breaks better so that you know.
I really felt taken advantage of.
Yeah, well, we were really taking advantage.